welcome back to Big Brandless Sissy X. I'm Ted, that's much, and this is Superman. So we just came back from the movies, and this is our reaction or
review.
Of the movie.
Spoiler review.
Yeah,
so if you have
spoiler.
not seen the movie yet, this is not the video for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give y'all a minute.
Just add it to your watch later or whatever.
Yes, but do check out the movie.
Yeah.
That's our non-spoiler review. Go check it out. It was
with
great.
the movable seats too.
Yeah, we got the 40X.
Unless you want to eat, then don't do it.
We got the 40X seats. Yeah, if you do get that, make sure you drink your drink, get it about halfway, because them seats gonna send you flying.
Yeah, unless it has a lid, then you're good.
Or that. Don't keep your popcorn buckets full. Don't keep your drinks full.
Yeah, you
Things
need
will
to
go
get at
flying.
least 3 inches down.
Yeah, there's air
Minimum.
blowing, water shooting out. There's
Spit.
all types of
More
stuff.
like spit.
Yeah,
But,
you getting thrown left and right, forward,
Yes.
every way but loose, basically.
Yeah.
You just was,
But the movie was fire. It was fire. The acting, the casting, everything. Oh, Rainy.
The music, the score, everything was great.
Yeah, one of the scenes. Two of the scenes that irritated me the most.
Also,
was-
yes, this is the popcorn bucket.
Oh yeah.
I got it.
We didn't put popcorn in it, obviously.
I didn't want to get it dirty and have to clean it yet.
Yeah, but
It's
we're
nice.
definitely gonna do it for a movie reaction.
Oh yeah, because we watch movies weekly, so this will be featured, of course. I
Constantly.
spent good money on this. Yeah.
Really good money. This half of 100. But oh yeah, two of the scenes that irritated me the most before we get.
Oh, you jumping right into that.
Yeah,
Okay.
before we get into all the beauty of it, is one, that guy that threw that can straight at his head. Okay, everybody who hated
That
on
was in
him.
the trailer.
Yeah, everybody who hated on him, they just all forgot all the good he did. It represents the people that listen to the propaganda immediately. They don't do no fact
Well,
checking.
I feel like we need to go into it
They
if we're going
don't
to talk
do-
about that, because there's a lot to that scene.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I know, but go ahead.
Yeah.
I was just saying that to add to the thing. Keep saying. Keep
Excuse
talking.
me. They didn't do no fact checking, even though it was already confirmed. Like, he just watched the video and said, "Oh yeah, I confirmed it in 3 seconds. I know in my heart." But I love the scene.
Well, let's talk about it, because the thing is, they don't have a way to fact check it. That's what's scary to them.
Right, because it's
He
a foreign
is an
language.
beyond that. He is an all-powerful alien being one day, 3 years ago, because that's what the time frame of this is.
Yeah, he's
He
been known
was
public-
revealed that, so that we're learning. So we already had metahumans, but now we're throwing aliens into the mix.
Right.
So we don't know how long that this Earth has known about aliens. We know they had metahumans for a long time, but an actual alien exists.
Three.
And we don't know his intentions. He showed up and he's doing good. That's great. But it's like, this is the most powerful man. They said that in the movie at the very beginning, it said Superman has just lost his first fight.
Right.
So this is man up to this point has been undefeated. He's the most powerful person on the planet, and it even tells you that. Now you get this footage saying, Superman, we want you to go to this planet and conquer it, impregnate the women, populate yourself, make sure your genes are strong. Basically, the whole Viltrumite ideology, and just take over this planet and make it our new Krypton. That's terrifying. As
That
somebody
is.
who cannot do anything to stop this man.
Right.
That's terrifying. So then it's like, and Lex was pushing the propaganda. Remember, he had the little alien, he had the little monkeys typing on the internet.
Yeah.
Pushing
The bot
hate
monkey.
agenda. And there's always conspiracy theories. And guess what? I'm sure there were some that had theories like, oh, Superman's he's grooming us, or he's going to kill us. And they even said that like he's possibly grooming us, making us like him. And then one day he's going to take over and we can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So like, I understand that fear. So then people are lashing out, not because they're actually angry at him, not because they forgot about all the good that he's done, but because they're scared. And it's like, we can't stop this man.
It all surfaced up. But like for that to be your immediate action is crazy though.
But that's how Americans are.
Exactly.
There-
And that's
some of
it's
them
a good
are-
representation.
Yes, and that's
but
what
it just angered me.
Yeah, and that's something that this movie touched on a lot. What people do with how they react. Like, people are going to be in your face. They're going to question you. They're going to hammer you. Everybody's shoving their phones in your face. Superman, why is your parents saying this? Why are you trying to conquer? Like, then there's all this pressure, and it's like, okay, I don't want to just come out and deny everything, because then nobody's going to believe me. Like, I need to have a well-crafted response, but like, I don't even have time for this. I just got into a fight. I lost. I'm trying to recover. People are throwing shit at me, screaming, and then I got these other superheroes here pressuring me, like, oh, so you coming to take us over? But what I did like is that they didn't immediately believe it. Hot Girl's like, I don't believe all of that. Like,
right. And
just get to the point. Is it true?
The guy who gave him food the one time. I love
I like that.
I love the showing of the bystander effect, even though that's Superman. You know, all of them just staring. Nobody getting up to help him. Because even though they know he's strong and he can help himself, he couldn't actually help himself in that moment. But the one guy that got up and that walked over, that ran over in the middle of traffic to help him immediately as the sun going down. Yeah, that's the one in the 10s, 20s, 30s of people that were standing there that helped him. I respect to that guy.
Yeah, and it's like it shows the effect that he's had on these people, that they truly do love him. So in the beginning, they really do love this man, but then to see your hero that you've loved and worshipped and talked, and saying his praises, to see this footage saying that he's been plotting to take us over, that's scary, that's disappointing, that's upsetting. And then there are people like me, like Superman, who are going to hold our initial responses. We're not going to speak right away. But there are other people that are like, nah, I'm about to say something. Nah, I knew it. Or, goddamn you. Or, like, they just want to express themselves immediately. Right. Or they want to be that person getting those views and, yelling at Superman and making this big viral, video. So, like, that's very real to today. Yeah. Some people aren't going to like that because I've seen people say, like, oh, I hate when movies are too close to reality. I go to the movies to escape reality. Yeah. Okay. I don't go to the movie to escape reality. Like, my reality is great. So I don't really have a reason to escape. But I do go to the movies to enjoy and immerse myself in the fictional world. Yeah. But I don't hate when it mirrors my own because
it was very realistic. It had politics in it. Something that would happen. Something that would have an effect in real life, because Superman, he wears the white, the red, the blue, so he lives in America. That's where he shows up the most. So it makes sense to think like, oh, he's a U.S. citizen. So when he goes and involves himself in another country, it makes sense to bring that conflict into the movie. It matches it perfectly. And that's something I didn't even think of when I think of Superman, And
it would be a big misconception, but you know what? They actually kind of did something somewhat similar in Supergirl, the TV series of CW, where the government just assumes, oh, I'm always protecting the U.S. and Metropolis and all these other cities, close by. I'm saving the world. And yes, I do wear the colors of the United States, the USA, but that's just coincidence. This is his family's house colors. This is the colors that they chose. That's what he represents.
Right.
But Superman, Supergirl, they typically represent themselves. They're not representing America. We just live in America.
Right. They associate themselves. They associate those two superheroes with America, so then they're like, you're automatically.
And it's smart for the government to do that, because it's like, in a sense, you're not going to mess with the United States because we got Superman.
Right.
He lives here, so y'all, come mess with us because we got a hero right here. So then it leads these other countries like, well, we want to create our own hero.
It's almost
and that's
like
a normal response.
Those houses that say, smile, you're on camera, or beware the dog, That's basically how the U.S.,
It's a threat. But it's like Superman is not that type of person. I'm going to help these people over here if they're hurt. So like him and Lois have a really good conversation. Like, well, you went over there illegally and you acted as a representative of America. He's like, I'm representing myself. He was like, I'm only like doing this for myself because I like helping people. I'm not representing America in their politics. And I think the whole idea almost offended him because it's like illegally entered. Like, I'm not bound to the rules of this. So it's almost like, in a sense too, like technically he is a U.S. citizen. Yes.
No.
And technically,
Clark Kent is a U.S. citizen.
Well, but they know Superman lives in America. Yeah. So that would, essentially.
When you separate those two, because they're two different people, honestly. So when you separate
but at what point,
Clark Kent is a U.S. citizen. Superman.
But like, there's no rules. There's no rules for him. Like Guy Gardner, he made a point to say, I have rules. I have to abide by the policies of the Guardians of the Galaxy, or the Guardians of Oa set. So he does have rules. He can't. Well, he said that he can't get involved in politics. I don't think that. I don't believe that to be true.
He said needs to be that haircut change. She ate with that.
We do know the Guardians have rules and that there are certain things Green Lanterns can and cannot do. And they do respect treaties. So, like, if there's a treaty that says no Green Lanterns absolutely cannot go there.
Yeah.
And they do respect treaties. But Superman doesn't have any bylaws or laws in general that stop him from going anywhere. But what happens if a country says we don't want Superman entering? Like, at what point does that become a conflict? And then if people, regardless of if he considers himself a U.S. citizen, if the other country perceives him to be a U.S. citizen, then it could cause conflict. And then what does Superman do in that sense? And then in this movie, he took, in which I'm going to be honest, I would have done the same thing. So I'm not even mad that Superman did this because I feel like this was a real reaction. Right. But he took the aggressive leader that was attempting to attack another country and put him up against a cactus. And Lois is like, so you tortured him? Like, you know, she's doing her job because I think she wants to challenge him. She's being herself, but she's challenging him. And also kind of trying to help him, like, what you're doing and what you're saying. Like, I can not air this stuff. I can cut things out and protect you because I love you. But somebody else is not going to do that. So I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you the Lois Lane that's unbiased. Right. And I'm going to challenge you because what you're doing can be perceived as wrong. Whether you agree or if it's wrong or not is not the question.
That's why
it can be perceived as wrong. So you need to be careful. So I think that was her way of protecting, I want to talk about Lois's character because I like how they started her and what they did with her. But to wrap up this whole country thing, I do think what he did was normal. Like, if these two countries are fighting, what can I do? I want them to have peace. I want you to stop attacking these people. I don't want to destroy your military. I don't have to come and destroy your stuff and threaten you and be aggressive with you. That's not me. But at the same time, I'm not about to let you go over here and kill these families and these children. And I don't want people to die. And that's exactly what Clark said. And it was a great conversation.
Yes.
But him and Lois can't seem to agree on things, which I do like. And then she goes to the point, I knew this wouldn't work. And he's like, well, what do you mean? And, you know, she's obviously talking about the relationship. Character. Right. And it's because she's herself. And she's not the type to sugarcoat things.
Right. Or the fact that she has an opinion on everything.
Correct. And she doesn't feel like she's wrong. Yeah. And I don't know that she was. And I think from both their perspectives, they both were right. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like, but she's never going to say I'm wrong. Like, Lois is right. And so I can see why she particularly would have a hard time dating, especially men, because it's going to cause too many arguments. She's definitely somebody you would get into an argument with or a debate with a lot. And I think that drives people away. And I think Lois moved here away from her family because I don't think they agree. She doesn't talk about her family at all.
She's not one of the people that are like, oh, I think, blue's the best color. Oh, I think it's pink. And then you share the reason why, and she's like, you know what, maybe blue is. No, she's gonna stand by that she thinks pink is the best color. And I really like that about her character because she can bring up those reasons why. She can state that evidence and those facts.
And Lois is gonna challenge you. If she believes you are wrong, she's gonna call you out on it. She's going to. And I like her story in this. So I've read the reviews before going in, not spoiler ones, but people were complaining that they felt like Lois didn't have enough screen time, which I didn't agree with.
I think it was really well balanced, especially because she's not the main character. This isn't Superman.
And she moves the plot forward, and I feel like she had a very important part to play. Again, her detective and her reporting skills, her challenging people's
her going to look for him.
Integrity. Yeah, her going to look for him in this film, but not just that, going to the Hall of Justice and challenging Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl. Think about what y'all saying. Think about what y'all doing. Like, Superman needs help. He's y'all friend. And they're like, we're not going to get involved. That's not our business, blah, blah, blah. And Mr. Terrific is like, nah, something ain't right here. Like, I'm tracking Superman. Let me see. This don't make sense. No, we're going to go check this out. I might piss Guy Gardner off. And Guy Gardner certainly didn't go to help. But they're not quite the heroes we need them to be yet. Yeah. And Lois kind of points that out. And it's no excuse
that they're new. It's no excuse.
No, Guy Gardner he was completely written to accurately. Yeah. He was the asshole, the very cocky, arrogant asshole you know him to be. Yeah. Somehow he became leader, but I think that's just because Maxwell Lord and him, they definitely could see eye to eye. They're both assholes, so I can definitely see why Guy was appointed leader.
And it annoys me that his name is Guy, because every time I think of Guy, I think of Guy from Naruto. So I'm like, oh, Guy, I love you, hello, and then I realized that it's the guy in the Superman show that I'm actually supposed to be thinking about, not Not the other one, but yeah.
Hawk Girl. Now, what I can say about her is she didn't have enough time. She didn't say much. She didn't really do much. I'm kind of disappointed with that, but maybe they're letting her cook. They just wanted to give a soft introduction.
Yeah.
They didn't give anything on her backstory.
I like the sound she made when she.
Yeah, she has a battle cry.
I really like that.
It's intimidating as hell. You get pretty much just her warrior side. You can see she shows emotion without using her words. So you really got to read her face, which sometimes is hard because she wears a mask.
Right.
So you really got to catch her in her vulnerable points, because I think there's a part of her that wants to help, but then there's also a part of her is like, nah, fuck that. That's not my business.
Yeah, she's a very like, I stay where I am. You know, I don't go outside my lane, and I do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm quiet. You know, I'm quiet.
But I also sense a schism in her. I feel like there's two parts of her that are fighting each other. Her innate instincts to protect, to nurture, and help, but then her warrior side and her business side that's like...
Kind of like B'Elanna.
That's not mine.
She really reminds me of her.
Because it's like, if Guy would have said, or went with Mr. Terrific to help Superman, she would have been all in. But Guy was like, nah, that's not our business. And she like, well, I do work for Maxwell Lord. It's not really my business. Okay. But at first she was interested. But then it's like, if we're not all doing this, I'm not doing this. So she's very much a team player, but also I don't think she's found herself yet. I don't think she's not a definitive hero either, which another point I want to get to. They kill.
Yeah.
She killed in this movie, like literally.
And
so
I'm
that's
glad
another
she
thing.
killed that man, though.
And that's what I mean when I say she hasn't found her heroism yet. Yeah. She doesn't have a code or moral code yet like Superman does. And
it doesn't have to be like his, but I don't. It's like she doesn't have really one at all. You know.
That's what I'm saying, because like to be honest, it surprised me in this movie that Hawk Girl's even a part of a corporation. She gives, to me, I feel like she's more of a loner.
She's
but
like
she's like one of those loners that craves to be a part of a group, but that's just not her.
Yeah.
And that's very much what she gave, but the difference is she's actually a part of this small group. And I think because it's small, because Guy is this independent person, because Mr. Terrific is quieter, kind of to himself, I think that group works for her. But if this was very much a group that was full of energy and light and a lot of feelings and emotions, I don't think she would have been a part of it. That's the energy she gives me.
More close quarters.
Which is why it's so easy for her to kill somebody and nobody bats an eye. But Superman, when they were like going in on that monster, the kaiju.
Yeah, he was like,
he's like, there's got to be a better way to do this. Like, I wouldn't have just straight up murdered this animal, and then like there was no regard for the civilians around. Like, y'all are not.
They're messy.
Y'all not where I'm at. They're very messy. Y'all are just so hyper focused on being aggressive and taking down the threat that y'all aren't considering the people, the other factors, and that's why.
Publicity. Unless it's, hey, you want a picture?
Oh, they're gonna take the.
You know?
Yeah, they're gonna, once they win the battle, they're going to go into the people's faces. They're gonna be on camera, and that's very much Maxwell Lord. I'm very certain. After each fight, they went to the public and was in their faces.
I'm sure it's
taking
in
the pictures and
get those pictures, y'all.
Be liked, be loved, be feared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's definitely the energy they gave. Mr. Terrific being the most heroic out of them all.
Yes.
Guy
I
and
love
Hawk
that.
Girl, yeah.
And I also love the scene where he pops up at the little tent and they're like, isn't he one of them?
The
yes,
Justice Gang?
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just the brains. Oh, no. I mean, he is, of course. But oh, no, he's more than the brains.
Yeah, and that's why I say he got the aggressiveness too. He cleared that whole military. Well, it's like a little army base. He cleared that whole base with his T-Spear. Protected Lois. He has probably the most heroism, but at the same time, he was the one that killed the kaiju with his tech. Mm-hmm. So there's still a darker side to him.
Right. I do think he has morals, and some people's morals does involve, does have them kill, and it's still to me heroism, because. Sometimes it's necessary,
Right. I always say I follow the Wonder Woman school of superheroing. Try to not kill
but if
the
you
enemies,
have to, then
the
you
bad
have
guys.
to.
But if all else fails and there's no choice, like Doomsday, I got to kill this motherfucker. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like in Man of Steel, what I like about Man of Steel was Zod. There was no prison yet to contain Zod. Like, if we don't have access to a phantom zone or some sort of prison
Immediately,
for these
or
bigger
5 minutes
things,
later.
and like the kaiju, we don't have anything built for something that big. Like, if all else fails, we do kind of got to take this thing down. And even Superman wasn't opposed to killing the kaiju. He said we could have,
went about it in a softer
yes,
way.
we could have put it down gently, not so hyper aggressive. So
Right.
that's again the difference between them. And I think there was a conversation between the three where they were like, they considered letting Superman join. I don't think he would. They would be at conflict far too much because they're far
Yes,
too aggressive.
there was a conversation, and he was like, no, because you know who side with him. Like,
Well, yes,
he would
because
become the leader technically.
and he would overpower Guy and things would change and it wouldn't work. But also, Superman would never join, A, because again, their morals are different. B, he's not working for nobody, especially Maxwell Lord.
And he doesn't want to be claimed, you know?
Yeah, no, he's very much an independent hero,
Right.
but not opposed to, asking for help because he did
Yes.
ask them for help.
Um,
Let's keep diving deeper into
yeah.
this beyond
So,
those characters.
my
But I do,
second-
well, hold on real quick. I do wish Hawk Girl had more screen time. I wish she had more to say. I am desperately looking for more opportunities to explore these characters because there wasn't enough. I've seen some people say that there was too much of them, and I'm like, what? We barely got them.
I
I
think it was a
didn't
perfect
get enough
balance.
of them. It was a Superman movie. But I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't have opposed if this been a little bit longer and we had more of them. But hopefully we get more of all of them in future projects because I think there's a lot to be explored with these characters.
Yeah.
And I think this is the beginning of setting up the universe, and I think it did just that. I think it did a great job setting up a lot.
Yeah.
But if you listen to the reviews that say there's too much of them and they overshadow, that's not true. There's not a ton of them. It's mostly Clark / Superman. He's in it almost entirely. Very few scenes without him or him being involved in some capacity. And Lois as well is very prominent in it. Now, Clark and Lois aren't always in sharing the screen, but they are all working towards the same thing. And they do meet up, and the scenes between them are great. Again, I'm craving more of all of these characters because they did such a great job. That there wasn't enough time to go around. Like, I needed a damn near a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't want it to end. It was so good. It was so much to explore. Like, I feel like James just opened up a whole universe just for us to explore. And I want to go down so many different, it's like having that video game that's open world and there's so many different areas you want to go to explore. And it's like, I want to go hang with this character and explore this world. I want to see what's going on over here. Like, I want to go to space with Guy and see what Oa's like from his perspective, or what's Hawk Girl do in her spare time. Like, I want to explore those type of things. But let's get deeper into the plot with Lex and stuff. But go ahead. You had something to say.
With Lex, my second least favorite scene was when they invaded the fortress and Crypto got hurt. I hate seeing animals get hurt. Even though he survived, that irked me. It was a very good scene, and I do also whatchamacallit, I liked how when they went there, they were looking for techniques where Superman was most vulnerable. And because I thought that's what they were going to find. I didn't think it would be the other half of the message. I don't know what I thought about that. But
Lex had said that he was looking for something to incriminate.
Right. But his parents
Superman.
gave it to him themselves.
Yes. That's another
so
thing.
I did like that part.
That's something we need to talk about, though.
Yeah.
Good. Go ahead. The message from his parents.
Yeah. I like the fact that they got the way to incriminate him from the parents' message, because earlier when Lois was interviewing him, he was like, my message from my parents is the most important thing. It's the most valuable thing to me. And I'm so glad she didn't publish that interview, because if that would have came out and then the next day...
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and then the next day, Lex published that and went online and said that, it would have made it even a bigger scale. I don't even know how much bigger it could get, but even bigger.
Well, you know what? I think they're based off the ending too, because she said they're going to do another interview. I think that will come up because he does need to explain himself to the people.
Yeah.
We never got to address to the people what that message meant,
Yeah.
because there was so much going on. But I don't know how I feel about that because I've never seen that from this version of his parents. Like I said, we talked about it in the beginning of the video, but they're very Viltrumite. Like, what do you mean? Come to this planet and take over? But that's very Zod-like.
Yes, it makes sense. It's
You
honestly
think?
like, okay, did Kara's parents send her aunt to the Phantom then? Because they would have the same ideology, right? So technically her mom or her aunt would have never went to prison or any of that.
I don't know. I have questions though about their morals because
Yeah.
I've just never seen a version of Superman's parents where they're talking about go take over the planet. Like
Yes,
that's scary. But we didn't get to talk about how that's gonna change Clark because Clark didn't even have a minute to deal with this.
Right, or process it. And I like the end when it was like, do you want to see your parents? And I thought they were going to show that, but then they showed like his Earth parents, and that was very beautiful.
And that, I guess that is in a sense how he's explaining it because I think he lost respect for his birth parents because like that's not what I represent. But then it's also scary because what if that full message would have went through? How would younger Clark perceive that? Would he have become this evil version of Superman if his birth parents willed it?
I think it depends on when he would have received the message. If it was an adolescent, then yes, most likely. But since he is in his 30s, if he would have received it in his early 20s, I honestly think he would be the same as he is today. Because what you experience while you're younger has a more of effect on your life.
But that's the thing. The message is what inspired him to be a hero.
Yeah.
So what if the message, it doesn't matter. We don't know what age he started it. Well, according to
3
this,
years ago,
he revealed himself. He's an adult, so that's
Yes.
not that long ago. So I don't know if he's in his late 20s.
He's 30.
How do you know?
How do I know? In the beginning it said he was born 3 decades ago.
Oh, okay. So maybe it happened when he was 27, and maybe that message finally got to him. But what if he got, in his 20s, received the message to take over the planet, though? We don't know how that would have shaped his brain, because he still would have been an adult. We don't know.
Yeah.
And that's scary, because that is the driving force behind him becoming Superman. But now his motive changed at the end, like you said, when the robots showed like this montage of, they always show when he's hurt and he's healing, they show him his Kryptonian parents typically in their message, and they let it replay because it was damaged and it didn't have the last part where it's talking about taking over the planet. But then he cut that out completely, so when he's healing and the robots are fixing him and now has Mom, Pa, Kent.
Soothing. Like the easiest, like when you go to the therapist or when you go to the doctors, you hear like calm music. Like what you hear has an effect on you. If you were to go to the doctors or something and you hear music about violence or whatever, you're gonna feel like, oh, I might shoot up this place. You might like you might like feel like more aggressive. Like music has an effect on you. What you hear, what you surround yourself has an effect on you. So him listening to that constantly on replay, that would have an effect on him. If he would have heard the whole thing, I'm sure he would be more aggressive. But I personally feel like he wouldn't be what his parents expected him to be, but definitely I think he would have still been a good person based off of how his Earth parents raised him, but I think his morals would be drawn back farther to killing.
He could have been more like the Justice Gang, more aggressive. He could have been, basically.
But still have heroism and compassion.
It's possible. It could have been conflicting. He could have started out like how he is, but maybe he wouldn't have held on to those morals, especially with all he goes through in this film, and having the public turn on him, and having somebody like Lex. Him and Lex have never met yet. Lex is doing all this evil stuff, but
imagine if he had a weak mind. Okay, somebody just threw that at the back of my head. I got all these people, these monkey bots chasing my name. These monkey bots chasing my name. I might just be like, oh, my parents were right. Let me do a 180 real quick.
These people don't
now
deserve.
Y'all about to buy that.
Maybe these people don't deserve my protection.
Because my favorite scene, my top 3 favorite scenes, was that line his parents said when he was like, humans are weak-minded, weak-bodied, weak in every aspect, basically. I love that line because compared to him, yes, 100%.
I mean, I guess.
Well, not 100%.
No, I'm saying that being
100%,
your
like,
favorite
physically.
line. That's.
I didn't say that was my favorite
You
line.
said one of my 3 favorite lines.
Yes, top 3.
Okay.
I love that because it's so like invincible. It's so invincible, and that, it's so like, it's like a parallel universe. It's very interesting to see. How
I don't agree, but
different.
Yeah. Sure.
What
I don't know
about what?
any of that, but
Okay, that's fine.
yeah, I'm just saying I didn't like any of it because like I'm not.
I mean, I don't
used
like
to...
that his parents think that, but I like how different it is from his usual parents.
Okay.
Like it's
I don't know
so
if I do though.
interesting.
I don't know if I do.
That's okay.
I feel like certain staples need to be the same. That's like if Batman's parents left him with a dark message about how to treat people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I have to decide if I like that or not. And I really would want to see their story and what they went through. So I hope one day they do go back and tell his story. Because it's like, we skipped over Superman's origin story. But if we're going to skip over it, keep it the same. Keep it, what we're used to. But then to change it up completely and make them these... It almost as if they wanted him to conquer the planet. And it's, basically they did. And so it's like, that's a very different Jor-El. What's his mom's name? Laurel? Whatever her name is. Laura. I want to know what they went through to be like that. So I don't know. That's just my whole thing. So I didn't like anything they said. I want to know why. I need context. I'm not going to judge it too hard because, like I said, certain areas of this movie need to be explored a little bit more.
It has a good, from my perspective, connection to what Astrid said. Astra. When she was like, Kara, your parents were too soft. They couldn't do what needed to be done in order to save Krypton. So maybe they became not soft, but that still wasn't enough to save Krypton. I don't know. And I love the fact that they changed that because we're getting something new. We should be getting something new because it's a new universe.
It's new. It's definitely new. So we're going to see where they take it.
So that I love that.
Lex was great. Lex had this very intricate plot.
Woo! He made me angry, which means he was doing his job.
Yeah, he had a very intricate plot laid out. He'd been watching Superman, created this whole fight, created this whole fighting, training manual for Bizarro. Yeah. So that he studied Superman so much that he knew how Superman was going to fight and how Superman was going to move. So he had counters for every one of Superman's moves. Yeah. And they were giving orders to Bizarro. So Bizarro in this context is mindless, just simply following orders. And he was whooping Superman's ass. But now Superman, so that's the difference too. Bizarro had a team behind him, backing him up, watching things from every angle. You know what I mean? Plus he had the engineer helping. Clark was alone for the most part. Now, because, as much as Guy and Hawkgirl and Mr. Terrific were around, they were always doing other things because there was so much happening at once. Right, they couldn't help him in those fights. Yes, Clark was on his own. So I've seen people say, too, he got beat up. He got beat up a lot.
He did, but
he got jumped.
Also factors. Yeah.
He got jumped. The only fight that he truly lost solo was in the beginning of the movie, which most of it we didn't see against the soldier, which is when we learned.
No, he also got jumped in that part because you could see them hurt. You could see that he was also getting orders in the beginning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the only. That's a one-on-one fight, is what I'm saying. So he lost, but Lex had a plan for that. Later in the movie, every other time he was getting jumped. The kaiju he wasn't really losing to. He was just trying to figure out a good strategy without killing it.
So he was kind of like
that wasn't a loss. And then at the end, he didn't lose. It just was a difficult battle because first of all, the engineer is trying to suffocate him with her nanites, putting nanites in his lungs. Meanwhile,
I thought he was really gonna go to the sun. He kind of did.
I thought so too.
But his plan was good too.
And then you got Bizarro beating on him. Like, what is he supposed to do? There's somebody of equal strength, if not more strength than him. Not to mention, Clark has been weakened this entire movie through kryptonite, deprivation of sun, like getting beat down. Like, Clark is never at 100%. So getting jumped and fighting somebody that's normally, when you're at your 100%, he's, you know what I mean? That's a very powerful foe.
Yeah.
What I mean, he's not going to whoop ass necessarily at first. He got there, but I got to take these things down one at a time. Not to mention, I don't think people realize there was a lot of pressure. So while he's fighting Bizarro and Engineer, there's a whole battle going on the other side of the world where they're chanting his name, which you can see on the news, which he saw, which he had a battle in his head. Like, do I go help Metropolis? Do I go help these people that are about to die, you know, by getting shot, getting blown up by tanks? These people that, you know, are literally holding up Superman signs, chanting Superman, praying that he'd come and save them. Like, that's a battle in and of itself. So it's like, I want to hurry up and wrap up here, but my city is literally being torn apart by a black hole.
Right.
There's a war going on inside of the other world. I'm getting jumped. This thing is trying to kill me. There is so much going on. So I can only imagine the battle.
There's never enough time. I told you that. I was like, there's not enough time.
Yeah, so it's like, he had a lot of pressure. Yeah. It's like, I couldn't even imagine having to think about all this stuff while trying to fight.
Trying to predict his next move.
And they know my next move before I know it. Or they have a contingency for whatever moves I know. So now I got to fight in a manner that they've never seen in order for me to overcome. But he asked for help at the end. Yeah. And the Justice Gang went and saved the other side of the world, which was great, which they then finally tapped into some of their heroism. Yeah. But there's still a lot to do with those three characters.
Yeah.
But they didn't even show a lot of that. That was like a quick wrap up. And like I said, Hawk Girl killed in that. So that's a lot. But we're not going to go back to them.
That's why one
Crypto.
of my favorite scenes was when he was like, oh, yeah, you've been studying my moves. Okay, let me get you somebody without a brain. So he was like, Crypto, come here for a second. And I really liked that part.
They hadn't gotten to study Crypto
back to Lex, yeah, they did. They gotten to study him a little bit.
No, they were studying him, but they didn't. They weren't really so much testing his fighting capabilities. They were trying to. I don't know really what he was trying to do. They were having him chase girls. They were like examining his mind and his physiology. But they don't. Crypto doesn't fight. He doesn't have a fighting style. He's a dog. He's he's bad. He's aggressive. He's just gonna fly into you and tackle you and bite and throw you around as any dog would do. So there's not really much. But it wasn't hard to take Crypto down. Like the Engineer took him down almost immediately. Yeah. But when he catches people off guard, and that's where Crypto comes in as a great element. He's the element of surprise. Yeah. And he's a great companion. He's literally man's best friend in this film. I've seen some people say they were kind of annoyed with Crypto or that Crypto was doing too much. But I don't think so.
Dogs always do too much.
He wasn't in the movie a ton to me.
Rather they eat too much or they pull on your leg too much. They always... Nick, show me a dog that don't do too much. I'll wait.
Yeah, and I think... Because I think a lot of versions of Crypto, he's a little bit more intelligent. But this is a normal dog that just happens to have superpowers. We'll get to that in a minute. We're going to get to that because that's going to be our last point of discussion. But, yeah, Crypto completely acted like a dog. I was not mad at that. He was not in the movie a ton to me. He showed up when he needed to and when he was asked. And, I mean, he was always doing something. Yeah. But it wasn't always shown.
And it took a minute for him to... do his tasks, but he did his tasks in the end. Yeah. It just took him a little while.
And Superman did get beat on a lot in this film, but the main time he was down bad is when he turned himself in because he was trying to find Crypto because they kidnapped him.
Yes, and I love that scene. That's also one of my top 3 scenes. My top favorite scenes is when he was like, he was leaving Lois and he was like, I don't even know what he said, but he was just like, I gotta go find the dog.
Oh, yeah, he was down and out because
No, she was like, were you out there helping him? He was like,
it's just a space imp.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah, he was like, I was looking for the dog. But he was like, I gotta go find out. He's like, if I turn myself in because the government put a warrant out, he's like, maybe I'll find him. And he did. And I'm glad he did that. And so that's when we get Metamorpho and they have this, first of all, this is beyond psychotic, but they have an intergalactic, we're not really an interdimensional prison. Mm-hmm. And there have people, Lex even threw his ex in there because she was annoying. Mm-hmm. Like, he has this interdimensional prison that's miles long, and they said that all of Lex's allies that he has within the country, they all put their enemies here. Metahumans, humans, beasts, weapons, there's all types of stuff in this pocket dimension. And that is insane. And then all these people knew it. Now, the part that, before I get to Metamorpho, that I didn't like, Rick Flag. We got to talk about Rick Flag. The same Rick Flag that we got from Creatures of Commando. So obviously, when we last saw him in Creatures of Commando, spoiler alert if you haven't saw it, Clayface broke his back.
Yeah,
and I think
that was really hard for me to watch.
I think that changed him. Because then he was out of the show after that point of Creature Commandos. I think he hates metahumans. I think after that, after everything he's went through working with Task Force X, I think he's sick and tired of metas and anybody with powers. And that's why he was pro Lex, what were they called? Watch Corp or whatever they were called. And he, so much so that he was threatening a baby. Like he was helping Lex manipulate somebody by threatening their child. I don't fuck with that. And he was at first like, no, we're not going to go after Superman. It doesn't warrant it. There's not enough evidence. But then when there was evidence, he went very dark.
Yeah. I also didn't really like that scene because it's like, okay, yes, I understand. Yes, I understand that he's super powerful. There's really nothing you guys can do if he were to attack you. But his parents don't define him. You know? Like,
but people aren't thinking about that, especially people
I'm just
pushing
saying
hate
from
agenda.
my perspective, as someone who knows Superman, who knows he's Clark Kent, you know, I'm saying like not from their perspective as humans, but like from mine, because I know everything about him. It's like he's his own person. You know, like his parents. Like, even if they said, go to this world, kill every single person, destroy it, burn it up in flames, he's grown. He has his own mindset, you know?
Now he does, which is why it's, thank God the message was damaged. And he was able to, form his own ideologies and become himself.
Yeah.
But, yeah, as far as Rick Flag is concerned, I don't know. I kind of lost a lot of respect. I liked him in Creature Commandos. I did. But that's also him amongst crazy. This was him amongst normal humans. And I think he's hung around monsters a little bit too long. Yeah. That was very much giving some energy when like
you hang around too
The
long,
Bride or Amanda Waller would give. Like, I think he's been hanging with these people too long. And I think he's lost himself. Yeah, especially with his son being killed.
Oh, yeah.
So that's another thing, but yeah, I lost a lot of respect for Rick Flag in this film. Yeah. There wasn't a ton of him in it, but he was villainous. He was villainous. Yeah.
But I think this is my last top 3 favorite scenes is when Krypto tackled Lex, because it was like
that was a good scene.
It was like, okay, yes, Superman can't do it because his morals. But that don't apply to Krypto. That don't apply to him at all. He did what all of us
and Superman was very patient with stopping Krypto.
Yeah.
Because Superman, as much as he would love to punch, well, he did hit Lex. He got a good hit, a good shove. But
you can't just
he can't be aggressive. He can't just punch Lex because it's so easy. Lex knows Superman can take him. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. It's one actual punch, he's dead.
And it's like with Lex, you have to outsmart him.
Yeah.
You have to in order to defeat Lex because you can't just go what you did with the dictator in the other country that's trying to take over. You can't just go and grab him and say, this man is evil like that. You have to have evidence. There's due process. There's justice. So I definitely got that. In another country, as far as threatening war, especially smaller nations that aren't as big as the U.S., you can go and threaten their leader and say, don't do this, or it's going to be me and you. You know what I mean? But, more structured countries like France and United States and maybe the United Kingdom, like places like that would be a little bit harder to do stuff like that.
Yeah. And that's why I like what Lois said when she was like, oh, that's technically not what she was talking about. But she was like, okay, when you came to Earth, where are you from, technically on Earth? And he was like, I'm not going to answer that.
Right.
Like,
she was like
a raw interview that that someone else would give him. And I like that.
Yes.
But back on topic.
Lex was very unhinged, very dark. Like I said, with this pocket dimension prison was insane. The fact that he was making a deal with this other country where the Superman threatened this man because they were going to kill everybody in that country and give the country to Lex. And they were going to rename it after Lex.
It honestly, it shows a good, like, representation or example of, like, how you can hyper-focus, obsess, and then go into a psychosis. Like, that was a good, like, step process into that. Like, I liked seeing that in Supergirl. that it was it Supergirl? No, that's not Supergirl. I like seeing that in Superman and Lois. That was really good, and I was envisioning that part, the beginning part happening, and then I just applied the current Superman from this movie as like him in the psychosis, and that I really liked. I really liked this.
Yeah, Cudliss's Luthor was probably very close to this version, and how aggressive, how patient, and how tactically aggressive he got. But the closer he got to like his plan being unleashed, the more aggressive he was. And yeah,
one thing I always liked about Lex, I hate his character, but I love how brilliant his mind is. Like, it's incredible to me that people can just like walk around with a mind like that smart. Like, I also loved how he studied Superman so well that he could just say A1, B3, 2-2.
That's an obsession.
Squibble.
And that's the thing, like, Lex wants the attention Superman is getting, and it's like, you're working with the government. Like, you're already with some of the most powerful people who make decisions. Now, while they might not always go with your plan, you're still in the room with them. Like, but he doesn't have everybody's attention, and that's what he hates.
The Greed Lantern, the Greed Ring.
I'm talking about an orange?
Yeah, the orange one, the Greed one. I don't know how that didn't come to him.
It's not that he's greedy, because he has everything. He's rich. He has the company. He has the workers. He has the weapons. It's not greed. It's the fact that, especially, this comes from his childhood and why childhood is so important, and your parents. This is why it could have been dangerous for his parents said. But like, we know from Lex's backstory how his parents were, and how Lillian Luthor, for example, and how they neglected him. How Lena got more attention than him, and so he was neglected as a child. So he's always craving the attention.
Yes, that's a type of greed, though.
But it's not the greed in which the Orange Lanterns want. They want everything. Everything is mine. This is mine. So it's not to that extreme, is what I'm saying. Like, there's a difference. Yeah.
Umbrella. But it is to an extreme, though.
Yeah, that greed is like, everything is mine.
Like
I got
greed?
that. This rock is mine.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. Like, Lex isn't like that because he has everything.
Yeah.
Everything was kind of handed to him except the attention and the love that he needed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's jealous in that sense. But, yeah, the level of evil that he and the government get away with, we already know the government is evil from Amanda Waller's lenses.
And
the Suicide
real life
Squad.
And in there.
So it's just like, yeah, we already knew that, but the pocket dimension prison threw me. And Metamorphosis, his story was sad. I wish they would have definitely gone a little bit more into that, because like, I was surprised he had a kid.
I did love how his wife or whatever stayed loyal to him. I did like that.
That was nice. There's definitely more to be explored there. Definitely more to be explored there.
That scene was funny though, when he was like, when Hawk Girl was like, "Can he join?" And the guy was like, "Nah." And then he said the name. He was like, "That's a cool group name." He's like, "You're in."
Right.
Yes, get him included.
And I think that's what he needs, because, you know, he's typically part of from the outsiders, and I think he's very subconscious about how he looks.
And also he needs security.
Correct. I was just about to say that. Like, if he's in the public eye, they won't be able to imprison him like that. And he needs connections. He needs people who are going to look after him.
Right. If people are saying, "Oh my God, I just got saved by him yesterday," you know, all these good stuff about him, they're not going to be like, "Let's go and kidnap him real quick and experiment." No, they might want to. They might try. But like, they're not going to, really, because he's going to be a part of the group now. He's going to be a public hero now, you know?
Yeah, I think it'll definitely work wonders, make him a bit more comfortable, be able to do good.
And provide for his family, too.
Yeah, he definitely can be a resource. Again, I don't like them working under Maxwell Lord. I don't like Maxwell Lord. He didn't do anything particularly in this film.
Flash?
He was only in Supergirl.
Yeah, I liked him in Supergirl.
He was only in the first season.
Yeah, I did. I liked his character.
I
don't like him as a character, but I liked his character.
Oh, okay. You liked him as a villain? Because that's what he was.
Well, yeah, but like kind of like how I like Lex. I liked his mind.
See, I think the Young Justice version of Lex is my favorite. Not quite getting his hands dirty, not quite being as aggressive, but more patient and more calculated. he's more of the knowing and proving are two different things. I'm going to do all this stuff and you, the hero, will know, but you can't prove it. This Lex was getting his hands dirty a little bit too much.
That's why I like this Lex
like
more
this,
than I like Young
yeah,
Justice.
Young Justice Lex wouldn't be standing in the prison having the baby being held hostage, making fun of Superman. He's going to have somebody else be doing that. Lex is going to be in Congress. Lex is going to be pulling the strings over here, turning the countries against him like he did in this film. But he's going to be doing that from a legal standpoint. Everything about Lex's business. He's not going to tarnish his image. He's not getting arrested at the end of the film like this version of Lex.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not happening to that Lex. He's way too built. He's way too calculated.
Right.
This one, he messed himself up and he's in prison. So we don't know where they'll take his character or what other allies he has. Because obviously he has allies because he has this massive prison with all these prisoners from different places. But I'm just saying, like, the other Lex and Young Justice wouldn't have been as calculated. The other Young Justice connection that I think I liked, the way they got to the interdimensional prison, I don't know if this is what they were going for, if it's the same thing, but it looked like to me a Zeta tube, which I liked in Young Justice, how they teleported from city to city to the Watchtower to the Hall of Justice. The Zeta tubes, how they were teleporting place to place, that's exactly basically what it was. Because you could go from, they'd have to tweak it for sure, because they don't want to keep going through this pocket dimension, but they would go through the Zeta tube, end up at the pocket dimension, and then go through another Zeta tube and end up in the office. And you're traveling country to country, city to city. So if they can make it a direct route, they definitely could go with the Zeta tube option, which I did like because I'm a huge Young Justice fan. Obviously, I'm wearing the Young Justice shirt, but that was a cool connection that I loved that they added in this film.
And that's why I also liked when Terrific was like, this is just like Lex to make something like this crazy, something, but like he was like 1 millimeter or something off, and like a wormhole where Earth used to be. And I really liked that sentence because it was just like he was really willing to risk that, like,
because Lex is so confident in himself.
Yeah.
And he allows very little margin for error, so that he was so cocky. But the scary thing is they've been doing this for a long time because that prison was built. There's so many people in it, like.
The connections were built over time. You can't build those connections.
Yeah, like they built so many portals. It's like they've been doing this for a long time. They didn't give any fucks about any of us, but they just knew in their minds they had this down packed.
Yeah. Also, one of the things that I really wish I would have seen was that video of, what's her name, Ella?
What are you talking about?
The blonde girl that was taking pictures.
Oh, Eve.
Eve. I wish that picture of Eve would have been on the news with her posing in front of
Eve was an unexpected genius.
Yeah.
She the whole time
I called it
playing the dumb blonde. She going around just playing the selfie internet girl. Whole time she taking a picture of all of Lex's business. She taking selfies on Lex's map where he planning on taking over a whole country and his important
and the documents in the back.
And everybody thinks she's just a mindless blonde that's there for morale. And no, she's sitting here getting all the business and feeding it to Jimmy.
Yeah.
That was genius. And Jimmy was a great character. Jimmy was very well written.
I don't know how he was
so
pulling
helpful.
all the baddies, but
yeah, Jimmy got the hose, y'all. He got the hose.
Don't refer to women like that.
I'm sorry, I'm just saying.
But yes, he was pulling lots of baddies. That was crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, W Jimmy, we love Jimmy. W Eve, shout out to Eve because a lot of this wouldn't have been possible. But yeah, shout out to the humans that were helping Superman in the background because Superman wouldn't have been able to do half of what he did if it wasn't for us working miracles in the background. Like, and I don't even know if Superman is really gonna have to talk with Lois to see how this all came together, but Superman wouldn't have been able to do what he did if it wasn't for Lois, and Lois and the rest of them would be dead if it wasn't for Superman. So they really worked hand in hand.
Yeah. While not even communicating like that,
and,
which just goes to show, like, those two are soulmates. Those two are soulmates.
It was perfect.
Hello.
And shout out to the Justice Gang for being there and supporting and helping, even though we don't always agree with their methods and the things they say. Again, they need worked on, and I'm excited to explore all of those characters more.
They need PR training, and they need to attend some classes.
Let's get to the last point. The point that I think is probably going to be the most controversial. Kara. Kara is a big cameo in this.
Yes, she's like, she's kind of like how people wanted her to be. She's like how her sister wanted her to be. Careless and not careless, but like having more fun and, not being
Okay, so yeah, she's very opposite of the CW
Yeah.
Supergirl. That Supergirl is looking up to Clark's image, trying to be this perfect Supergirl. First of all, she didn't even want to be a superhero. And I don't know that this version of Kara is, because they never mentioned Supergirl at all. So I don't know. And they say that she's been going off partying on other planets and stuff like that. So I don't even know if she's here.
Yeah.
But
she might just wear the Supergirl fit because that's her house. You know,
and I'm sure there's Superman merch
like,
out that people can, you know, she can just dress in and people wouldn't bat
going
an eye.
around wearing your traditional clothing, you know?
Right. And so I'm gonna reserve a lot of my judgment for her movie because I want to see where they're gonna take it, because this is a wild version of Supergirl. So they said she's off getting drunk. Like Clark looks like he's just kind of over her. Like, that's my little cousin. She just be outside doing too much. She, you know, you don't fault her because she's young and she's doing what young people do, but at the same time, it's like, I wish she would do better type of energy is what he gives. And we come to find out that Krypto is hers, and that's why Krypto is so wild and all over the place. Because his mama is all over the place.
The Superman bot, I loved when he was like, that explains why Krypto has no boundaries.
Yes, because Kara is all over the place. So I'm going to reserve my judgment for that, but I don't know if I like that, because I like the Supergirl that's a little bit more put together. But I've seen a lot of versions of Kara, and so I don't feel like there's like a consistent consensus on how to write Kara.
Yeah.
Because I've seen hyper aggressive Karas where she's straight to business but very aggressive, not really listening to Superman, not really caring so much about his values. Supergirl, we all know, is stronger than Superman. That's just always been the case. But there's times where she really kind of, I don't want to say abuses, but doesn't hold back as much as he does. There's versions of her where she doesn't want to be a hero, but then eventually comes into it and feels the weight and responsibility of being a hero and really looks up to Clark. There's the versions like where Young Justice was going, where she's evil and they pit her against Superman, things like that. And then there's this version where she's just like a drunken, young, you know, immature girl. So it's like, okay, we're going for a very different Supergirl. So I'm going to be interested to see how her movie is. And I think her movie will be her coming out of this phase and into the hero we need and know her to be. So I think hers is truly going to be like an origin beginning story.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
The Kara from the CW, she honestly, like, she reminds me kind of Deku from My Hero Academia, because like when she was learning how to use her abilities and take down people, you know, in the beginning she was using either too much strength or too little strength, you know, it wasn't, she couldn't always match it right. And the same thing with Deku, you know, he had to do 18%, 10%. So if we get that type of like growing up from Kara to her becoming actual superhero, I would love to see how she struggles to like balance her powers with like her morals, similar to Superman, or not Superman.
And with the way they're writing her, they cast it perfectly, because Millie Alcock, she's in House of the Dragon. She definitely can play that type of character that's very wild and rambunctious and all over the place. So it's going to be an interesting movie, and there's no way I can see them doing a Supergirl movie and Superman not being in it in some way, shape, or form, coaching her, because she's going to need that parental figure, that person to look up to find herself, because
I
she's all
also
over.
wonder, since this is a different dimension, if she was sent first, so she's technically older, or if he was sent first in this one and he's actually older.
Yeah, that I want to know too. There's a lot of questions about their origins, because they don't. Supergirl's literally a cameo. She's drunk and she's at the end, and he said that she likes going around where red suns are because she can get drunk there, because typically we can't.
I liked though. Well, I didn't like it.
Which shows which shows that her spaceship is functional, because how are you getting to planet and you being under a red sun?
Yeah.
So that's interesting too.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it? Oh yeah, I liked that they mentioned that. I don't like that about her, because I like the put together Kara. I like the Kara that
I do too.
That's like, should I wear a pencil skirt today? Should I not?
I like that version too.
Like,
the adorable nerd.
Yeah, I like the nerdy version of her. But I like that they said that, because if she was the Kara as we know her and she knew about this fight and didn't come to help, I would be upset. But because she's young and she's immature and she's not at his level, I'm glad she didn't come, because it makes sense why she didn't. you know. But if she was at her level and the girl boss that I know she is, I would have been like, girl, are you serious?
And I think that's probably going to be a
Serious.
big plot for the Supergirl movie. I bet you Superman's going to be off world for most of it when she's dealing with whatever threat. I bet you there's going to be a massive threat, one that's Superman, Supergirl level. He's not going to be around because he's probably off planet doing something.
And she's going to have to pick up her responsibilities?
Correct, because people are going to die.
Yeah.
But also, I think that's why they established that she's going to other planets, which means these planets are populated. And they even go to so far to mention Martians in this movie. And we do see other alien creatures, which I think was a Martian
I was
reference.
expecting that white one to be
Was it though? Was it a white Martian?
No.
What
When it
was
showed the face, it looked like Momo. You remember that Momo that was going around in like early 2015 that was scaring everybody? You gotta put a picture on the screen, but it was, it was scary. It looked like Momo, and I was like, oh my god.
I don't know, but
I was scared.
I think that they're setting up for there to be galactic threats and Superman's going to be gone. But I think a lot of people complained about there being, again, other superheroes in this movie. Like, I've seen some people say, like, oh, there's too many people, too many characters. I don't agree because the other characters don't have a ton of screen time. They're not overshadowing Superman. But there's not going to be much of a way for there to be these planet cataclysmic events in these movies and other heroes don't show up. It doesn't make sense. Like, it wouldn't have made sense for other heroes not to be showing up when Metropolis is getting destroyed. Like,
right, because
yes, the Green Lantern's going to come.
Because it's going to turn into your planet. Right, and then also, if a Green Lantern doesn't show up and the Green Lantern knows about the catastrophe, can see it, has access to getting to it, and you're just sitting there and with your feet kicked up, watching Netflix, you're getting that ring taken. If not by them, I'm taking it. Thank you, because I took the quiz and I'm a Green Lantern. So,
anyways,
I take it.
But yeah, I just think that a lot of these movies are gonna have cameos and these heroes are gonna have help. Maybe certain ones that maybe take place in space or Gotham things, because Gotham don't necessarily have world-ending events. It's more so city stuff. Yeah, and I think a lot of Green Lantern stuff may take place in space, so there's not going to be a ton of help out there. The mascara drama is going to stay there, but I think a lot of like Superman's level events are going to require other people to be involved because like how? You know what I mean? Especially once they get to the point where the Justice League is formed, it's going to be pretty hard to not have other people involved. And why do we not want other people involved? Like, that was a big criticism of the CW shows. Like, oh, Oliver or Star City's about to be destroyed and stuff like that. Why is Barry not coming to help him? Or why is Supergirl not coming? Like, that was a big criticism.
Like
so why would it be any different in the movies? Like, and we know there's a shared universe. Like, we've already established the Green Lanterns. Yeah. We're all going to be saying, well, why didn't such and such show up? So then you can't get mad when they do show up and help.
Right. Nobody's really ever pleased with it. Right?
Yeah, you're not going to please everybody, but I think if you're going to write a realistic universe with heroes, it has to be everybody. It has to be other characters involved. Even in Young Justice, like, it's mainly involving the team, but gets to sometimes to a point where the Justice League has to jump in. Yeah. Or they're teaming up with their mentors.
Right.
Or, like, there's this cataclysmic event, and they show images of the League, the Reserves, the Outsiders, all these different groups of heroes jumping in to save different parts of the world, and it may focus typically on the team side of the story mainly, but you do at least see the other heroes. And if we're not at least getting something like that in these films, when these big events happening,
Khan saying that your mentor is going over to the next state to help.
Yeah, or there's not some explanation. Yeah, then there's no point in us having a universe. Y'all might as well just ask for a bunch of solo films because there's gonna be other heroes in the movies.
Or make it yourself because I want to see multiple heroes. Thank you.
I do too. So I don't care so much about the whole solo movies anymore.
And Raimi does too.
We've seen that, y'all. Like, let's get something new. Let's get this shared universe. Like, don't complain about dumb shit. Like, they're trying to make an accurate universe, where they're actually having other heroes show up. Like, that. Don't criticize that because that realistically that would happen. Like, they would have help.
But
yeah, that's.
What was the last thing I had to say? Oh, yes! Okay. I love the scene where Lois went into Clark's room and she seen the band poster. I think it just made her realize, like, okay, maybe me and him are a little bit more similar than I thought. you know, maybe it's me and Superman that are different, but me and Clark might be similar.
Well, and it goes to the point where what Superman said to Lex, I'm just as human as y'all. I was raised by humans. Like, I lead with emotion and heart and humor, and
Right,
I
he's
have
like, I'm
flaws.
scared sometimes
And
too.
yeah, I feel fear. Like, you see me as this almighty, powerful God. I see myself as you, as a human. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't identify with aliens I never met. My alien parents are telling me to enslave y'all.
I mean, he did.
I'm
but,
not
like,
doing that.
It's okay
Like,
to change
I'm
your mind. People
being
change.
human. Yeah, I'm following human ideals. I'm following the ideals that most people themselves don't even follow.
Right.
I'm being better than most humans because, like, I'm holding myself to a higher standard than people do. And, like, I'm being what people wish they could be. Yeah, and that's who he is. And it's like...
Because if you see Superman walking down the street and then someone's, I don't know, robbing a bank across the street, across from him, and he just walks straight past, like a regular person, it's going to be a problem.
And that kind of reminds me of the point, too, in Justice League Unlimited, where it's like, I liked about Green Arrow when he was like, you know, we get so consumed with these big world-ending events that people ain't helping the little guys no more. Like, these police officers on this side of town getting their ass whooped by these, you know, these low-level supervillains. Like, they need help, too. Like, who's saving the people in the alleyways or the people getting carjacked or the building on fire? Like, and that's another thing.
Bruce Wayne's parents.
But that's why you see Clark a lot of the time saving the civilians in this, which is what I like, because why are we forgetting about the little guys? Like, buildings are being smashed and buildings are falling down, like people are about to get crushed, and while the other heroes are fighting, doing the badass stuff, Superman's saving people. Like, that's what I like.
He's a multitasking king. Okay.
Yes, and he's gonna put the people first to fight second, if God willing. But yeah, I don't know if we've seen the end of Bizarro, but he did take him down, so that'll be interesting. And like I said, Lex, we'll see what they do with him next. I don't know where they're gonna take Rick Flag Sr. I'm not fucking with him right now, but
hopefully,
yes,
to hell,
probably. But we are going to be watching Peacemaker, season 1, starting this Sunday. So if you guys
season?
Yes, it's a show. So check it out. It's only 8 episodes.
Oh, okay.
So check it out, y'all. We're going to be starting that because it connects to this universe and all of that. And then season 2 comes out in August. So we're going to try to be caught up by then.
Yeah, everybody laughed at that scene where he popped out. And I felt
yes, there was a Peacemaker
out.
cameo.
I felt like, what?
Well, we've seen him in the Suicide
Yeah, but
Squad.
like, we didn't see him. You know, I could chuckle, but I couldn't laugh.
I mean, we've seen him in the Suicide Squad. I mean, you gotta remember.
Not my joke. Let's just end this.
Well, we're about to end it, but I mean, we've seen him before, so it's not like we don't know him.
And
realistically, the general audience are not gonna watch every single thing. Like, I guarantee there's a large portion of people that haven't seen Creatures of Commando. So the seeing Rick Flag Sr. means nothing to them because they don't even know who he is.
Yeah, but I like to be.
I like to be in the know.
Marinated in the seasoning of the chicken with DC.
And I don't really like Peacemaker. That's why I never watched the show. Like, he didn't do anything for me in the Suicide Squad.
He was very cocky too, I believe.
Yeah, he's not my type of character. I'm watching purely for continuation purposes. And so
connection, the universe. Because I'm interested in this universe. I'm interested.
That's it.
And
that's it. I'm not really interested in Peacemaker that much. But he may sway me. He may sway us.
We'll see.
We'll see.
He might have heroism, character development. But I think the humor is going to carry the show. That's my prediction.
We'll see. But thank you guys for listening this far. We really do appreciate y'all. And we have tons of DC shows that we've reacted to.
A podcast.
We got the Arrowverse, Doom Patrol, Titans, Stargirl. I mean, we got animated movies, I think, on here, like Batman. I think it's not the Under the Red Hood, but it's the newer version that they have made that you can choose the alternate endings and things like that. Choose the path. We got a couple different DC things on here. Young like Justice and we got Star Wars. We got a bunch of stuff, but we're gonna try to keep up with at least the DC TV shows and try to do a review of each movie after the DC ones come out. I want to be really involved in this universe, so that's what we're going to be doing so long as we're making videos. So stick with us. Leave a like, leave a review. If you guys have seen the movie, let's talk about it. I want to know what you guys think. Let us know if there's anything we missed. I definitely need to do a rewatch because I'm sure there are little Easter eggs and things that I missed, but I can review it and catch things now that I'm not so hyper focused on the plot. Plus, we were getting thrown around with the 4D seats.
Yeah,
So.
it was. I was holding the popcorn for like
Yeah,
more than half of the
you
movie.
had to hold on to your stuff, y'all.
Yeah.
Don't have a straw in your mouth in an action scene coming up. It might stab you.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, thank you guys for watching. Of course, we want to hear what you guys thought.
Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, get the picture on phone, right?
And we will see you guys on the next one.
Bye.